I want to take a minute and just introduce you guys to the SeamLock cartridge adhesives. I know a lot of fabricators, you probably really don't care what adhesive you're using to glue up your countertops, but if you truly want to deliver the best possible product and the best possible customer service, you are only as good as your weakest link. And the one area that most fabricators overlook is the adhesive that they're using to glue up their edge laminations, their field seams, or their deck seams. So let me tell you about SeamLock. So SeamLock comes in two versions. We have the standard SeamLock, which is the flowable adhesive, and we have the SeamLock Pro, which is going to be your no drip adhesive. Basically, the flowable runs and the no drip stays right where you put it. We have another video that shows you, just clearly shows the difference between flowable and no drip and kind of where you want to use those in the application. So SeamLock is available in no drip and flowable. The majority of the sales, probably 95%, are coming in the no drip or the Pro version. That's the one that everybody seems to want. The no drip is available in the 250 milliliter cartridge that is seen here. That's probably about 95% of the sales as well. You can also get a 500 milliliter cartridge, and you can get the baby bulks, the 50 milliliter cartridge. One of the big advantages of the no drip, or not the no drip, but the SeamLock in general, is the cartridges that we use are the best in class. And one thing that does that is, if you look, there is two separate openings, one for the catalyst and one for the adhesive. So it uses the Quattro static tips, which are the best tip on the market. This has less waste. It gets you a great mix all the way through. There are other tips on the market that are longer and have the orange where it just kind of twists around in there. The static Quattro, I don't know if you can see that, but every single one of those squares is actually cutting the catalyst and the adhesive and giving you a mix. So by the time it gets to the end of this catalyst, it has mixed dozens and dozens and dozens of times, giving you an even blend, a consistent mix of catalyst and adhesive, so that you are getting a good bead that is going to cure all the way through nice and evenly. Helps reduce soft spots and make sure that you're getting a good kick on your adhesive. So separate openings for the adhesive and the catalyst. You can look at them real quick, make sure that they are good. When you go to bleed it, it's real easy to see that adhesive is coming out and catalyst is coming out, to make sure you've got balanced pistons in there and that you're not going to have any issues. There is another cartridge on the market where it's got an outer ring and the adhesive comes out in the outer ring and the catalyst comes through the middle. Well, when you're burping that, it's really hard to see, am I getting a good amount of catalyst and adhesive out of that? You got to kind of keep wiping it off. And as I can tell you from previous experience, sometimes you think you've got a catalyst coming out of there, but the catalyst is buried in the adhesive and maybe there's a partial plug. Really fast and easy to look on this and make sure there's no plugs in it and that you are good to go. Slam on your Quattro tip, get your retaining ring on, and you are good to go. So those are just some of the quick characteristics that make SeamLock great right out of the gate, some of the differentiators. But when it comes to the chemical composition, SeamLock is the latest generation of adhesive on the market. It's got extra impact modifiers in it that are going to give it it just gives it a heck of a bond. So it bites the acidity, it bites into that material good. The adhesive and the catalyst gives you that super strong bond. And mostly where people notice the bond the most is if you're ever doing a chiseled edge. And you do not want to get what is called shelving on your chiseled edge. And so that means you have the two pieces that are laminated up. When you're chiseling that edge, if you don't have a good bond, sometimes when you hit the bottom lamination, it'll chip off flat on the piece above it, and you get what's called a shelf or a flat spot. And the reason is the adhesive did not bond properly to both sides of that lamination, and you get a shelf when you do the chiseled edge. We've done extensive testing with some of the top fabricators in the US, and there is no shelving with the adhesive, the SeamLock. So that is a good thing. The other benefit that a lot of the fabricators like is SeamLock has a cinnamon scent added to it. And what that really is intended to do is create a better customer experience when you are installing the countertop. So if you have to pull a deck seam or a field seam in that customer's home, it's going to smell more like cinnamon cookies than it is that nauseous chemical smell. And the customers really appreciate that. So if you haven't tried the SeamLock yet, feel free to give us a call. We love to get you a sample, tell you what how to take your game to the next level and help you to create a better product quality and a customer experience. We're always love hearing from our customers. So if you have any questions or feedback, feel free to give us a ring. Talk to you soon.